Let me guys know if you can hear me. Nobody's on, but I'm still going to talk. Welcome to the live. Who is that? Comment below if you're in here for credit repair. Today we have a great guest, Grant Ibada. He's a real estate guru from the Bay Area, and we're going to talk about real estate, some things, stuff that we all should be focused on, and credit repair. So if you're watching, comment below. Yeah, we're going to have a guest on pretty shortly. If that's you, Grant, in the audience, let me know. Yeah, exactly. I sent you the link, the second one. Did you get it? There's a second link. Welcome. I see there's another guest. Welcome to the channel today. And great to have you. Just waiting for our, what is that, guest to join the live. I'll click it. Okay, cool. Well, it's good to know you can hear me because it's a little bit weird having these things. It's like, it feels like I have something in my ear. Click the second link. Nothing? Okay, let me send you another one. Try that one, see how it works. Welcome to the live call today. Take advantage of the promotion because I'm telling you, it's only today. So to get you in, you guys need to visit my website, pinnaclecreditrepair.com. Okay, let's let Grant in. Hey, Grant, how's it going? Good morning.
Good. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, there's a little bit of latency, but it's fine.
All right, good. Good deal. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great, man. Good morning. Check, check, 1, 2.
Yeah, good morning. There's a little bit of latency, but that's fine. No worries. It's probably because the Bluetooth, but I could deal with it.
Gotcha.
All right. So we didn't see you for some time. Memorial weekend, you went on vacation. A lot of people went on vacation, except for
Yeah,
me.
thanks. I was down in Southern California at the beaches enjoying time with the family. We went to the Legoland amusement park. It was a great time. Great to just get away and kind of reset and relax, especially before the hot summer months come around. It's actually been getting real hot out here in California in the summer.
Yeah, there's a heat wave going across the globe, actually,
Oh, really?
across the globe. Yeah, across the globe. I think it might be because of the sun, but yeah, it's across the globe, across the Asia Pacific, the Pacific, and even the Midwest and the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I saw some of your stories with your family. That was good. A lot of people were out doing whatever. I didn't. I don't really pay too much attention to Memorial Day so much. I still work. My family's, in the military, but it's not really a huge deal. It's just, it's an important day, but you know, I'm not super patriotic, but my family is. They're all from the military, so yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, no one in my family is military either. I think it's just a great day to relax, and while you're relaxing, thinking about all the things you should be grateful for, whether they be military freedom or et cetera, et cetera. I think it's a great holiday just for reflection in general.
Yeah, totally, totally. That's how I view most holidays, unless they're like religious. Religious is a little bit different, but yeah, it's still good. It's a day off. I work all the time. I kind of choose my holidays, whenever whenever I want to go. But Christmas is my family is Catholic Christian, so they celebrate Christian, and yeah, so that's one of the holidays that I kind of spend time with family. But yeah, any day, every day is a great day to be grateful that you're alive and take advantage of the time you have in this world. So, guys, I don't know if you guys saw the caption, but that is definitely true. Today only is $500 to hire me personally. Normally, I charge anywhere from 2,000 on up to 5 grand for my services. Now, what do I do? You might want to check me out, pinnaclecreditrepair.com. So we've been featured on badcredit.org and a bunch of other great websites. But what does that really mean? Well, it means that we're doing a pretty awesome job fixing credit. So you can check out my playlist on my channel to kind of see what I do as a credit repair expert. You can see tons of people that I've successfully helped. And the screenshot, that's actually my client's snapshot of his results. So I think it's like 55 items, got a score to 800. So that's pretty significant. This person started with a 500, close to 600 credit score. So to take him from 500 to 800 is a big jump. So if you are in need of credit repair services in hopes and aspirations to acquire real estate, whether you buy it for your own personal living situation or for investment, this is the live that you want to hop on. Yeah, I'm going to take these off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, these things are a little bit annoying. Welcome to the live, guys. Ask anything you want regarding real estate and credit repair. Anything. And let's see if we can get your questions answered. I see that there's a couple people that have already joined. I have Grant on. He's a real estate expert in the Bay Area. So if you have any real estate needs, any questions, he's in the Bay Area. If you're in the Bay Area, that's a great match. But either way, if you need any real estate questions answered, be sure to check him out. He has a channel. You can see in the comment section, it's Grant Inaba. Grant Good Agent, that's his social media. You can follow him on Instagram. He's really active on Instagram, more active than me. So it's Grant Good Agent. That's his Instagram handle. So go ahead, give him a follow. And he has great content, a lot of informative content regarding real estate. I watch his content all the time. So there's lots of listings there. There's just general information about the market, not just California, but as a whole, and just real estate stuff. So it's good to follow people in real estate because that gets the gears turning. You get to see people, do this for making a living and do this every single day. So preparation is the key. So a lot of my clients that are struggling with credit, they want to buy a home, but there's a lot of prep work. So do some research beforehand and just get the gears turning before you do things last minute. Do you have anything to add about that?
Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot going on in our local market. It's pretty active right now. I think summer is really starting to get into gear seasonally.
When you mean market, you don't mean the grocery store, right?
Not the grocery. Well, the grocery store. I mean, inflation's still affecting the price of tomatoes, but that's a completely different thing, right? Yeah, the real estate market is obviously being affected, even driving inflation. If you ask my opinion, it's really hot right now, though. The interesting thing, contrasting the East Coast, is that in California we have sun pretty much all year long, and while it does get colder and cooler in the wintertime, it does rain. It doesn't turn to black ice like in Chicago. It doesn't turn into snowstorms and blizzards like maybe you might see in the East Coast. So for us, the real estate season is kind of all year long. A lot of people used to talk about, June through September being the best time to buy or the most active time to buy. And the reason why is because kids were transferring out of school and going into their next school, and people want to get prepared to, basically do that at the beginning of the school year instead of mid-year, mid-education year. Um, Nowadays we've got homeschooling, we've got different quarter systems, semester systems, things like that. That people aren't really looking to just move during the summertime. However, it looks to me like this year we do see a good spike in activity because of the seasonal time. And I think some of that is a culminating factor of many other different things, but we're definitely noticing it this year.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Welcome to the live, guys. I see that we have some new viewers. So if you guys are interested, I know you're interested. That's why you joined the live. But yeah, $500 to hire me personally. That is definitely true. Follow, look at the link description, the link in the video description of this live. You can book a consultation with me. If you've just heard of Pinnacle Credit Repair, it's the company that I own. Uh, just search fast credit repair in Google. Pinnacle Credit Repair is like on the first page. We've been like that for like 10 years. There's a reason for that. It's because we are fast at what we do, and Google is aware of that, well aware of that. And on the first page, you're going to have a bunch of news companies that have a listicle of the top credit repair companies. We're on a good amount of them, especially badcredit.org. They're a big credit repair website that hosts a lot of credit repair companies, finance companies, banks, credit card, and reviews them and stuff like that. So go ahead and do some research about us. If you want to take advantage of the promotion, that's what this live is for, and to understand a little bit more about real estate. For those of you guys that have bad credit that want to either get into real estate for personal purchase or maybe even investment. Um, if you have any questions, make sure to ask Grant. He's your guy. He's been in the industry for about 15 years, right?
I've been licensed for 12 and a half each years right now, and then been in real estate investing since about maybe half a decade before that. So yeah, we can say 15 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that just to prove that you don't really need a license to do real estate. Oh, you went dark. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now it's fine. So
Very
that's
good.
just to prove that you don't need a license to do real estate. You were doing investing before you had your license.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of people, especially these days, that are operating and doing pretty much everything a realtor does, everything an investor does without a license. That includes buying and selling homes. It's really strange. There's this kind of wholesaler world now that they
Yeah.
basically reach out to homeowners. They ask them if they want to sell their house. They put together a contract, and then they assign that contract to someone else and take like a retainer fee or a finder's fee. And so, there's this kind of whole interesting, I wouldn't even call it an underworld, but it is an unlicensed world of people that are buying, selling properties and taking a fee for it.
And it's completely legal, right?
Yes, yeah, it's completely legal. Yes, uh-huh. Yeah.
There's nothing in California that goes against this. Are they like a nuisance? Is it better to hire a realtor? Um, well, they're just buying, they're helping people buy stuff that's already owned, but they're not selling things, but they kind of are. To sell a home, you have to have some accreditations, right?
Yes and no. These wholesalers, I mean, they're basically assigning or selling contracts, to other people. So in effect, they're kind of doing everything a real estate agent does, but just in a very, very different way, in a very non-public way too, as well. So um, you can meet a lot of these wholesalers, but they're not public at all. They're not advertising themselves. They're not putting themselves all across Zillow or Realtor.com, things like that. Usually it's someone with
It's like
kind
an
of a
underworld.
yeah, it's someone with kind of a semi hazy profile, say on Facebook, saying I want to buy your house, and then they don't even need to use a full legit profile. A lot of times, they're kind of using a an alias name or an alias company, especially an LLC that's maybe registered but not really able to be fully researched, and they're just saying, hey, I know that you're in trouble because I looked up in the public record that you're in foreclosure. Look, I'm going to help you get out of foreclosure. Why don't you sell me your house for a discounted amount of money, say this much, and then I'll pay off your foreclosure dues, your overdue foreclosure mortgages, and so then you can be able to, not have to worry about being in bankruptcy or foreclosure trouble. You can move on with your life. Here's a few hundred extra dollars, here's a few thousand extra dollars for you to, be able to afford your deposit for your next place you're going to rent in. And then that guy will turn around, resell your house to an investor who wants to acquire it, rehabilitate it, and then resell it for a large amount of money. That's pretty much the whole deal. And these people that are selling their house that are in foreclosure, they're so desperate that they will go for it. They say, "Oh, I know this house is worth $1 million, but I only need $50,000 in order to get out of financial trouble. That's how much I owe the taxpayer. That's how much I owe the taxes for. That's how much I owe alimony for. That's how much I owe uh, the credit card company for." And the guy says, "Okay, well, I'll buy it from you for $75,000. You're getting $25,000 extra." And the people are so desperate that they'll go for it. And then that guy will turn around and resell it for.
But can't a realtor, since realtor, so if someone's really motivated to sell their property, is it that so difficult to sell it with a real estate agent? I guess it does. That definitely does depends, but generally, if someone is like, I guess, underwater or just behind on payments and going through a bad situation, I would figure realtors would, be more. It would be easier for realtors to find a deal or a buyer for them, right? Versus a wholesaler, because they're not. You can't really reach out to wholesalers, I guess, because they don't advertise, so it's hard to find them. They have to find you,
Yeah.
right? So I'm kind of curious about that.
So generally, the idea is that these wholesalers, they've got money in hand. So they've got a stack of whatever, $75,000 right there that they're putting in front of the homeowner at the kitchen table when they meet them. They say, "Okay, here it is. I'm making this really easy for you. Take this
Mm.
money, give me a title to your house, and then you're free and clear. You're done. You're good." The real estate agent, they're more kind of saying, "Okay, you want me to sell your house? I will do that. I will market it and I'll put it up on Zillow and Redfin and all these different places. And pretty soon you'll have a buyer. We'll find one for you." But the real estate agent is doing having a different conversation. And that is that the real estate agent's going to go out and find the buyer, whereas the wholesaler actually is the buyer. He's got the money right there, and he's presenting to you right there at the kitchen table. So it's much faster, it's much more reliable in a way. It's kind of less stress free. A wholesaler can sell a house. After he's shown you he's got that money, he can basically complete escrow in as little as 3 days, 5 days. For us as real estate agents, when we find the buyer, that buyer might have cash. They might not. They might have a loan that they have to purchase a house with. With the loan, that can take 15,
But a
21, 30
realtor, a
days.
realtor would give them a better deal, I guess. It'll take longer.
Yes, it
The
will.
wholesaler needs to make money. The
Yeah,
realtor can just find somebody that wants to buy it for retail because they fell in love with it.
yeah.
But the investor is looking for like a steal, right?
Yeah, and the seller is looking for convenience. So the investor and the wholesaler, they match up very well when we're talking about convenience. We're talking about the most money for your dollar, the most money possible you can get. The seller and the real estate agent are the best match. But the problem is that the seller doesn't always have the time, the convenience to wait around. They
Yeah.
they
Yeah, of
they
course, of course.
they want
There
it done
this
like
is
right
someone that's
now.
a motivated seller. That's like the ideal candidate, which I think it's not always like that. Like you call someone that's in a bad situation, they're gonna just, okay, yeah, sure, let's sign the paper, because I'm sure in that industry it's difficult to get a deal. You have to call a lot of people. It's
Hundreds.
like anything else.
Yeah, hundreds of people. So now because of technology, we've got these lists that people buy. We've got these tax lien lists. We've got these foreclosure lists. We've got divorce lists. We've got any type of public recordation of anything, you can buy a list and you can find those people. You do a background check on them online. You find their phone numbers, you find their email addresses, and you reach out to them. And then it's just a numbers game. It's like, well, I reached out to 100 people today. I got one maybe. I've got one yes. You know, the next day I've reached another 100 people. I got one maybe. I got one yes. And then you approach those people. You sit down with them. You sign a contract with them. You know, hopefully over time, you know, in your 30-day month, you know, you might have one actual contract that you've actually been able to purchase and then resell to someone else.
The hard part is finding a buyer. You have to, I think you'd have to have like a network of buyers. They have like the one guy I showed you. He has buyers. You just got to like cold call and find the list, but they take a fee out, additional fee. And
Yeah.
then just starting this, it's hard to kind of understand the price point. Like what would you negotiate? And then you have to go back to the investor. What if you negotiated the price too high? The investor's like, well, we actually we'll take it for this price, you know.
Yeah.
So that takes some experience.
Yeah. A lot of these things that wholesalers do, you know, they're doing exactly what a realtor does.
And you do
And
wholesaling too, right? You've done wholesaling.
I I um I have done it. I don't really do it a lot because I don't need to. You know, a lot of times when we're getting involved in a conversation with someone, we know whether or not it's a deal that we want to take on or not. And for us, you know, if we don't want to take on the deal, then we usually just kind of pass it up. For us to, you
Okay.
know, try and make
Yeah.
some money off of it the way a
That,
wholesaler does, it doesn't
what would be the
always.
advantages of being a realtor from where you stand? Because you said one disadvantage is you're not marketing yourself like a typical real estate agent. You have to cold call. That's labor inducive.
Yeah,
Realtors cold call too. They knock on doors and stuff, but it seems like one of the main ways is putting up a bandit sign, a Craigslist
yeah,
sign,
yep.
or going through the list and cold calling people in a desperate situation.
Yeah, I mean, because of technology, that's kind of all you need these days. There's definitely strategies and a whole thing about it. You can pay someone $20,000 in order to learn how to do it. There's lots of those programs out there. Um, the biggest difference, in my opinion, is the license. You know, we licensed ourselves in order to learn about the whole process and legally protect ourselves, protect yourselves. You know, we're backed by the National Association of Realtors, who's created this whole curriculum and legal contract system that we use in order to protect you and us during a real estate transaction. There is so many millions of different things that can go wrong during a real estate transaction, and I've seen. I
Even
mean,
a wholesale deal,
oh, especially a wholesale deal because nothing is. I mean, a wholesale deal is like a
like
handwritten contract.
circumvention, and even from the wholesaler too, they could be circumvented.
Yeah,
Uh,
if they don't know what
yeah,
they're doing, and they have a not very tight contract, and then you know maybe the seller goes to sell it to someone else at the same time. I mean, it's like
yeah,
there's so many
price
things that can
wars,
go wrong with a wholesaler. Yeah,
price wars.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you know these people are so desperate to sell their house and get out of trouble that you know a lot of times they'll kind of come up with all these crazy things they want to do. Yeah, it's a very very scary world, honestly. A lot of times our buyers they say, oh, I want a discount, you know, and sometimes if I feel like they're savvy enough, then I'll show them these off market properties that you know can be bought at a severe discount, but I'll tell them like, look, if you want to do this, then you got to do this on your own. You know, I can't represent you to do these deals. Or you know, depending on how I know the wholesaler, or you know how trustworthy the wholesalers or the wholesaler system is, you know, I'll get involved in it, but usually I don't like to at all.
Got it. It seems like it may be easier as a real estate investor to look at a vacant property or you know that you can just buy and rehab. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are combing the MLS, the you know publicly advertised market for fixer uppers to buy and then resell to as well. And usually those houses are vacant. And you know you don't have tenant issues, you don't have an owner squatting issue, things like that. You know, there's all various different types of real estate scenarios and how to approach them. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Great thing about wholesaler deals or approaching a seller directly, especially when he's in trouble, is that usually you can, and if you've got the cash, especially, then you just present the cash, and you don't have to worry about your credit score, your loan approval, your loan application, loan any of these things. And these days, there's a lot of people that are willing to invest in money, give money to these wholesalers to buy these houses, so then they can turn around and reassign them or resell them back to the investor, and that wholesaler can make a little bit chunk of money and not even have to worry about having any kind of credit background or loan approval or anything like that. So
Oh
that's
wow.
one way for wholesalers to get involved in real estate too, as well. A lot of wholesalers are uneducated, no degree, tried a lot of different jobs. Probably a lot of them in
Money
retail
hungry.
or
Money hungry.
money hungry. Yes, yeah, very
Which
money
is
hungry.
it's
Yeah,
great to be a capitalist and want to make money, but the term money hungry is not good. It's a derogatory term. It means that you're going to put money before anything. You're like a mercenary. It has its advantages, yeah, but it has its it has its crazies in the woodwork that come out,
yeah,
and people
yeah.
that aren't educated, they don't understand. So, and when you get a real estate license, does it go over ethics?
Yes, it's the higher you go in licensing, the more and more it concentrates on ethics.
So there's a broker that's like the highest level, right?
Yeah. And then below that, there's a salesperson. A salesperson is very legal heavy. It's very contract heavy. It's very process heavy. But when you go to broker level, it's very ethics heavy.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
broker, you have a lot of liability, right? Like you're
Obviously,
with,
yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think, why ethics is so important, because bad ethics leads you to bad liability, in my opinion.
yeah, of course, bad leadership. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely for
Yeah.
sure. That's good that it's regulated.
Yeah.
There's you said there's so many ways to, have a transaction turn into a nightmare. And there's been so many stories of, embezzlement and fraud and other stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, in real estate. So
And going back to what you said about money hungry wholesalers, so you've got money hungry sellers, right? Sellers in a very desperate position that are very money hungry. All they can do is think about getting out of this tight situation they're at. And you got a money hungry wholesaler, and all he can think about is getting a hold of this asset and making money off this asset and wrestling it away from the seller. You've got this really interesting, really scary dynamic. It's almost like
yeah,
a
so that's
wholesaler.
kind of the culture or the vibe of the wholesaler. It's
Yeah,
like a pawn, like when you're a pawn, have you seen Pawn Stars? It's like
yeah,
that haggling back and forth. Oh
yeah.
man, that'll give you gray hair.
Yeah, a lot of people get into this wholesaling thing and they think it's very easy, and it's not. It's very, very tough, and you got to have a really, really thick skin. Um, it's like what's that Repo Dog? That guy with the long hair that was real popular a few years ago. I
Yeah,
can't
he's
remember his.
big, right? Is
Yeah,
that the guy?
yeah. I kind
Yeah.
of like obviously not all those people look like that, but I feel like that's like the kind of like the image or the personality you have to have as a wholesaler. It's a lot of
Yeah,
like
I know what you're getting at.
yeah,
It's not warm and fuzzy. It's just very sterile and like cut and dry. And
yeah,
I don't know. The closest analogy or something close to it is like a pawn shop. It's
yeah.
just all transactional.
A
They're
lot of
trying
really
to rip
good.
you off to make money. Their job
Yeah.
is to rip you off to make money. It's yeah, yeah, kind of
A
messed
lot.
up, but that's how the world works.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of not to spend this whole time kind of trying to put wholesalers down. There's a lot of good wholesalers out there too as well. I think the very successful ones, they're in it for a very long haul. They know that they're buying the property at a discount from the sellers. They know that they are. I wouldn't call it ripping them off. They know that they're providing a service, and that service is helping the seller, and the seller's kind of transparently knowing that this is happening, but the seller's in such a situation that this is their only option. And so then it comes very transactional, yes, but also very understandable too. We know what we're doing here. We know that this is a negative thing, but it's also benefiting us. It's our only option. We got to do this. So here is the wholesaler providing this outlet for the seller.
It's liquidation. Liquidation. Yeah, it's not ripping someone off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna, yeah, you're right about that. But it
But
sucks that
most
you,
people, yeah, most people approach it as, hey, what can I get? How can I get this away from this person so I can resell it and give it to someone else and get something for myself? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, yeah, yeah, you kind of read my mind. Yeah, so I just kind of, I mean, wanted to understand the advantages and the disadvantages of wholesaling and working with a realtor, or even um, contacting a wholesaler or contacting a realtor, or even just getting a real estate license for people that may be interested in getting a license, or even just doing the wholesale route, or doing a little bit of both.
Yeah, I do a little bit of both. And a lot of it is because, myself and my team, we are cold calling people. We are, looking for business, looking for people to represent, looking for people to help out. And while we're doing that, we do encounter these scenarios, and that's where we put on our good citizen hat. We say, okay, we know you're in trouble. We know this is happening. How can we help you out? And if it's for us to acquire the property for them and pay a certain amount of money so we can resell it for a certain amount of money, then it works for us. If the numbers don't work and we, still want to try and help them out and maybe resell that opportunity to someone else that, can put all the pieces together and make it work, then yes, if they've got time to be able to sell their house in the regular kind of more traditional way and get the full maximum value, we're here for that too as well. So we're kind of here for every single different scenario that they have, and we've got the experience to be able to deal with them. We've got the experience because we've seen them, and know how to proceed forward with any type of seller.
Absolutely. What are
Yeah.
the minimum requirements to buy a home credit wise? Are you kind of involved? You're not, I know you said before you're not really involved with like loan officers, or do you get info, does the loan officer reach out to you about the client, or is it the client reaching out to you to kind of tell you what they were approved for or not approved for, or do you kind of, can you give them a better idea?
Yeah. So let's say if someone's buying a house and they've got low credit or anything like
What's low
that.
credit, like 540?
The minimum credit score per FHA, I think, is a 580 credit score. So a 580 credit score in an FHA loan, they'll match up pretty well. You're paying 3.5% down, and you'll
What's
be
the
able to actually.
maximum for an FHA loan?
I don't know if there's a maximum, honestly. I'm not totally certain.
I thought it was 600-ish in California.
Maximum, really?
Yeah,
Minimum.
I think there was a maximum that they would approve you for. This was years ago when I was
Oh,
kind
six
of
hundred
involved.
thousand dollars.
$600,000, yeah.
Yeah, so there are what we call FHA loan limits, and every
Like they won't
state
do a
actually.
jumbo loan, like $1 million FHA loan. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, because when we're talking about FHA, we're talking about conventional loans. And that's generally under $1 million. When you're talking about a jumbo loan, that's generally non-conventional and above $1 million. However, every county has their own different FHA loan limits. And the
Yeah.
reason why is because when you go into San Francisco, the median home price is like a million five, whatever it is. But if you go into across the bay, Vallejo or Solano County, the median home price is, like $500,000. So the FHA
Oh,
has
that's
to
pretty
address.
low. San
Yeah,
Jose
the
is
FHA.
considered a mixed bag. Santa Clara County, that's a bigger scope, but San Jose City is a mixed bag. If you go east
Yeah,
side San Jose, it gets
yeah,
kind of ghetto, but then you go to the Rose Garden, it gets very nice. And then the west side is actually pretty nice, and the south side is mixed, pretty nice, and then some ghetto. But you can find a home for like 600,000 is like in the ghetto in San Jose.
that's right.
500.
Yeah, San Jose is very interesting because you've got super rich people right next to Silicon Valley. People are a part of Silicon Valley, and you've got a lot of people that are basically just working class that kind of got swallowed up by Silicon Valley, and they're still there. East Palo Alto. That's a great
Exactly.
example.
A
Yeah,
great example. I was about to say that. East
yeah.
Palo Alto, and then the other side where where is it?
Menlo
Mountain
Park.
View. Yeah,
Yeah,
Menlo Park. Yeah, Menlo Park, not
yeah,
Mountain View. Menlo Park. Yeah, man,
yeah,
very, very, very expensive. That's probably one of the most expensive places. Hillsboro, I think, too.
yeah, yeah.
Hillsboro,
Atherton. Yeah,
Atherton. Yeah, Atherton's like the most expensive.
yeah. It's very interesting. I went to East Palo Alto to go talk to a seller once about a month ago or so, and I mean, he had a not a great neighborhood, not a great street. Very very average. I would even say below average house. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't a horrible condition at all. I could live in it. I could. I think my family could live in it. Wasn't huge.
And you
It was
said
like
before, it's not necessarily a bad idea getting a home in a questionable area. You just keep your head down, mind your own business.
yeah, and that's what this guy did. He was just a regular normal guy. His house was
Uh, volume, can't hear you. Okay, now it's dark, so there's no volume and it's black. Okay, it looks like I lost you, Grant. Guys, welcome. I'll let Grant kind of figure that out. Can't hear or see. Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, now we got you back. Okay, cool. Can you hear me?
very good. Okay, cool. So yeah, just guy with a regular, modest, regular house, and not a great area. And that house, he wanted $1.1 million for it, and I couldn't believe it. You look around and it's like, you're gonna make me pay $100 million, a million. I'm sorry, $1 million to live in this neighborhood? No, thank you.
Todd, awesome. That's you, Todd, right? I think it's Todd. Todd Smith, a client.
All
Um,
right.
yeah. So that is pretty interesting. I'm not sure how East Palo Alto is now. It's been years since I've been back there.
It's not great. It's really been gentrified at this point. There's a lot of people that are working class. They're still trying to hang on. But give it 2 generations, and I think it's going to be completely swallowed up.
Wow, Todd is from Wisconsin. Now that is a very special place, I think. Wisconsin, Midwest, North Midwest, Wisconsin, Chicago, Illinois. Not necessarily Chicago, but Illinois, beautiful areas. Wisconsin is a great, uh, nice state. I think I've been there once. Yeah, I think I've been there once, but it was so brief that I didn't get to kind of soak up what Wisconsin is. But I've heard a lot of great news about it. Seen a lot of scenic nature, parks and stuff like that. And there's a lot of American culture there. Oh, lakes too. So I wonder what the average home in Wisconsin would be. 1 hour north from Chicago. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not far at all. 1 hour is a nice trip. So
Recording
yeah,
in progress.
So that's like kind of like Gary, Indiana, I think. Like Gary, Indiana, to me is
I've been through there.
yeah, it's kind of like to me that's like the Midwest.
Oh, home of Harley Davidson. All right. Yes, I actually own a Harley Davidson. Oh, that's right. That's where. No, I thought it was from Omaha. No, that's Warren Buffett, right?
Yeah.
Omaha, Nebraska. Warren Buffett, I think. Okay, great. What size home? Like I'd say a 2 bedroom, or a single family is 2 bedroom, right, Grant?
Single family home, your average house is 3 bedroom, 2 bath house, then maybe
Okay,
about
3 bedroom,
1,300
two.
square feet.
What's the price of a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house in Wisconsin? Todd. Harley Davidson, nice. Wisconsin. Okay, I gotta visit Wisconsin. I might buy a home there. I don't know. Two to 3 bedroom. Yeah. How much is a 2 to 3 bedroom in Wisconsin? How's the weather in East Bay? You're in Millbrae? No, you're not Millbrae. You're in Walnut Creek. Around
Yes,
there.
Walnut Creek, yes, yeah.
Love that place. Ranch style, maybe about 200K. What? Wow.
Wisconsin Realtors Association says that the average home price in Wisconsin is roughly $285,000 as of 2023.
Yeah, it's about right. He's a 80, about 80. Well, he said 2 to 3. So, he's around the marker somewhat. Still a lot less than the Bay Area. I mean, if they have a Whole Foods there and your basic, luxuries, it's not so bad. I can move anywhere there's a Whole Foods and a Trader Joe's. They have a Whole Foods, if they have like a mall, if they have, I'm sure they have a farmer's market. That's even better than Whole Foods. Yeah. If they have like steak and stuff, you can order that stuff online. Then I could live there. Okay,
Median
great.
home price of a house in East Palo Alto was $1.3 million last month.
And that's the ghetto part of the Bay Area. That's like the,
Yeah. Yeah.
worse than San Jose. Yeah. San Jose would be second.
Yeah.
Oh, Oakland.
Let's see if we can find East Oakland here.
Lakefront. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I got to check out Wisconsin. Yeah. maybe
Central
I'll
East
settle.
Oakland, $603, $603K. Yeah.
603K. Oh, so it's East Palo Alto. You don't think there's a bright future anytime soon? They're not trying to make it like West Palo Alto.
Well, I mean, at this point, because of gentrification, we have to ask ourselves, what is the bright future?
Less crime.
But less crime comes with more expensive, unaffordable neighborhoods. At this point, So if you're asking me what the future of East Palo Alto is, it's not looking good for the people that originally lived there. Unless their house is completely paid off, and then they can just, generate equity wealth from it. But a lot of times they've refinanced their house so many times that they're kind of underwater.
Oh, okay. Got it. Wisconsin is a big melting pot. Okay, great. Yeah. We have a farmer's market. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to check out Wisconsin. Sounds like a great place. Okay, so guys, I'm going to leave this live up. We spent a good deal. Today was a little bit different, but still kind of pretty much around the theme of real estate and different markets. Todd, one of my new clients here, talking about Wisconsin. It's great to open your mind. If you guys want to move to the Bay Area, get a house, talk to Grant if you are looking in that area, or maybe even East Palo Alto or San Jose or San Francisco. I'm sure he can service you there too as well. Or if you have any real estate questions, Grant has a channel. It should be in the comment section. If you guys can't read, probably not. Grant Good Agent, just Google Grant Good Agent in YouTube, and you could find his channel. He's really big on Instagram. Check him out. And guys, add me on Instagram. It's Pinnacle Credit Repair USA, and be sure to add Grant. Maybe we'll do some lives on Instagram as well. And yeah, it's great to have you on. Another thing, before I leave, if you guys want to get to hire me personally for $500, it's a steal, because normally people pay $2,000 to $5,000 just for the year to work with me. And I remove bankruptcies, collections, late payments, people that have mortgage late payments, I get those off, credit card late payments, collections, and you name it, I remove it if there's an error. So book a consultation with me. The link is in the video description. And be sure to follow Grant on Instagram. It's Grant Good Agent. And we will see you on the next live next Monday.
All right. See you next Monday. Take care.
Have a good day.
See you later, Todd. Thanks.